Hi everyone, Sarah Bonner here for 8th grade language arts. I thought I would just take a few minutes instead of writing out an elongated email to kind of screencast some things that as parents I'm sure you're probably wanting to know about this year's language arts experience. And then also maybe take you through our class website a little bit so that you know how to navigate through this in case you have any questions for your child or if you have any questions for me as we venture into the year. We are in our second week, and I have to say that it has been fantastic. It has been really great to get to know your children and start building some relationships, and I'm excited to work with them all this year. This is our homepage. If you take a look, our address is languagearts301.pbworks, like peanutbutterworks.com. And I've encouraged our kids to bookmark this page because this is where they go to find everything, all resources. This is where they find daily lesson plans if they think that they might be gone or sick. This site is going to house everything that we're working on in class. So one of the things I encourage students to do is if they have questions, definitely check on here first. But I will always be there to help facilitate their learning. So just so as parents, you understand how to navigate through this a little bit more. Some of the things that will permanently stay on here throughout the year will be these links right up here. Obviously, you see our syllabus for the year. You'll see some student-led and designed guidelines for our classroom. We didn't go in with any rules or guidelines. We kind of formulated those throughout our first couple of days and getting to know each other, and we did that together. Later on this week, we're going to be talking about blogging, and we're going to be doing some blogging this year. So this will serve as a link to those student blog pages. I'm sure you may have heard something about Reading Mondays. As in high school, independent reading is a big initiative, and in supporting that transition, I want to definitely support independent reading as well. Reading Mondays is a time where we spend every Monday morning doing nothing but just reading. No worksheets, no projects, no computer-based programs, nothing is attached to it. And it's pure interest reading so that we can kind of maybe spark some interest back into reading and build that stamina in their literacy skills. Partnering with that is some cheer chat, so I will definitely feel free to let you explore this site, but you'll see a lot of these things that are withstanding throughout our class this year. You may hear your children speak of these things and you may wonder what those things are. I just want to let you know that these links are all here available to you. We haven't necessarily started any units yet because I find it's really important to build a relationship and really strengthen class community. So I call these like class introductory topics. We've been talking about your children as a learner and understanding how they can advocate for themselves or stand up for themselves. We've been talking about growth mindset lately and how the ability to want to try and not get frustrated and redo things and know that learning is a place for failure as well. And know that failure is okay in our classroom and that revision is okay in our classroom, and why learning needs growth mindset so much in order to improve. Later on this week, we're going to talk about collaboration. So you'll see some different links there on like what it means to collaborate and what that's going to mean for us in class, and then also some assessment and feedback things. Those of you who are joining our classroom again, and in previous families you're coming into this class, you may very well know that I do not work on a grade system. Your child and I will negotiate letter grades because I want to host a series of conversations with your child this year about their growth. I'm going to talk more specifically about assessment in a separate piece of communication, just so that that's very clear. I want to try and be very honest and be very transparent with everybody, because we may not do something as very specific in Skyward, which communicates grades. There are other ways that you will have access to this communication and you will be a part of this conversation as well. But I'm going to only just kind of highlight some things that are on this website for now, and then revisit assessment a little bit later when we're talking about that in class. The other thing that I have down here, if you keep scrolling down on our website, you'll see that there are resources for parents. So there are some things that you may think that maybe you didn't understand, or maybe something's not being communicated at home, or you're wondering maybe why things are being done. Being a parent myself, I take that position very seriously insofar as I like to be in the loop of what's happening with my child. So I wanted to include some additional parent resources for you that might help explain some of the things that we're doing in class. They are there for you. They're not necessarily things that our kids would definitely be engaged in, but I invite you to check any of those things out. And if there's something that's there that might be missing and you can maybe suggest something, I'd be happy to provide that for our parents. Additionally, you'll see some contact information down here for both myself on, throughout school and social media presence. And then Miss Marks, you may have heard her name at school or from your child from school. She's joining us this year as a student teacher from Illinois State University. You'll also be able to check out past archives that you'll be able to see from my other previous years in this position if you want to. That's pretty much the basics. You'll see one of the things that you may want to pay attention to the most is that when we start doing actual units, I will post agendas. And when you click on these agendas, you'll be able to see what's happening daily in class so that you'll be able to have conversations at home about classwork and homework. Before I continue on with talking about homework, I want to communicate that homework may occur in class, but it is not a high priority, and that is something that I believe because I feel that what we do during the workday, I can better facilitate students, I can provide resources for students, and that may not always happen at home. Equally too, I'm sure you understand working a full day, coming home and wanting to do more work at night is not very motivating. I would much rather see our students continue their independent reading. I would much rather them have family meals, be in activities, even going outside and playing, rather than spending countless amount of times doing homework. While there will be pockets of homework here and there, and that will be communicated throughout the year, homework is not something that I see as a priority in our learning process. So I just kind of want to be clear, if you're not seeing a lot of homework at home, especially with language arts, that's just how I've positioned myself and how we function in our classroom. One of the other things I want to switch over, because I am talking about homework and you're wanting to know maybe what on daily classwork and potential homework is, I want to point out another website to you. This is hayworthjhs.pbworks.com. And this is a generic Hayworth Junior High website. And one of the reasons why this space was created is so that it could be homework communication for everyone. So parents, students, teachers, we all have access to this. If you were to click on the August link here, which I will here just to show you, you will see these links. These just go to a Google Doc that is a working doc for all teachers to document. You'll see Mrs. Moore's math assignments up here, and you'll see what we were doing in class and the homework that's assigned each day. We do our best to try and keep up with this. We do know sometimes it doesn't always get filled out, but this is definitely a step for students to go ahead and check out and look at that classwork and homework, especially if you know you're going to be absent or if you know you're missing something, or just to know what's happening throughout the day. I strongly recommend checking out this website and equally bookmarking this as well. It's a helpful site throughout our school year. I'm going to switch back to language arts now. I hope this helps a little bit in terms of navigating throughout our year and kind of understand a little bit more as we work together and introduce some course concepts and where I stand as a teacher. Be looking for another video on assessments, and I appreciate your support. Thank you.